Friday. I think it's August 30th. Just getting into London now. Heading down to Winchester, Virginia for the night. Have a fairly long day, about 9.5 hours on paper. And that doesn't take into account fuel stops or border crossings. So this might be a little interesting what time I roll in to Winchester at. But we're going to head out. We're going to cross over Fort Erie. Head south through New York. Cut all the way across to Pennsylvania. I think we clipped Maryland and West Virginia on the way through, and anyway, we're gonna end up in Virginia for the night. Tomorrow night we're in Weston, West Virginia. Third night will be Findlay, Ohio, and then home on the 4th. So just a little short 4-day ride down. Currently traveling solo. Will be for the next couple of days. My riding partner Bob is already down in West Virginia with his daughter Chelsea. Doesn't know it, but we're meeting up tomorrow night. He is under the impression I am riding up through the Muskokas this weekend, not leaving until tomorrow. So it'll be pretty interesting to see his expression when I show up in the middle of West Virginia, when he's not expecting it. Our summer tour last year was down West Virginia, so I'm essentially doing day 1 and day 2 of that in one shot. Day 1 on that trip, we left at about noon and ended up in Bradford, Pennsylvania, just on the north side. And then day 2, we did Bradford down to Winchester. So the difference this time around is I'm doing day 1 and day 2 in one shot. So don't know what time we're going to get in. Probably going to be late. May end up having to find dinner on the road. But it's the cost of admission. So for now, we're about 9:13 in the morning. And we're making our way down to Fort Erie. Quick little stop to get just enough gas to get over to the border. Although, you know, gas prices over there I don't think really make that big of a difference. Especially on a bike, you're not really filling up that much fuel at a time, but, you know, if you think you're saving, it makes you feel a little bit better at least. So we'll stop and get a little bit of gas on the way through here and jump back on the great 401 and work our way down. Shouldn't be too long. Well, we're done with the 401 and the 403 on the Lincoln Alexander Parkway right now, going around Hamilton. Showing about an hour out from the border. Making reasonable time at this point. Should be across, I would assume, by noon. At that point, we're at about 6 hours from there down. So it's gonna be a long day, but that's all right. I have an interesting relationship with the Lincoln Alexander Parkway. Anytime I'm down here on 4 wheels, it always seems like it's raining. Anytime on 2, it's beautiful, clear, sunny. It's just a way around Hamilton. Looking forward to the QEW, said nobody ever. But that'll be the next section that will be on QEW. Then we will run that pretty much all the way up to the border. Cutting through in the link, now into the QEW. Traffic, I'm gonna eat my words on this, but traffic doesn't look too bad. Here's hoping that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. There was a sign back at the start of the link, something about the Sky Bridge and path to Fort Erie. So, really hoping there isn't construction or a shutdown or something for some reason there, because that would really make this a pain in the ass. There's no other options around that, at least nothing reasonable for timing. But nothing to do, we'll find out in the next 20 minutes, I guess. Canal. There's a little bit of traffic down there. There's a lot of flashy lights. A lot of emergency vehicles for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on. Well, that's gonna hurt. Can't say I've ever been to this duty free, so let's stop in and have a look. Alright, it was a quick stop at the duty free, and now we're heading across the bridge to get into the United States. Just looked at the map, but we've got just under 7 hours to go for the day. It's about 11:45, which means we'll be into Winchester probably around 8 o'clock, 8:30, maybe 9. It's going to be a bit of a long day, but knew that coming in. Had to make that mileage to get there, so it is what it is. We'll just make a run for it and do what we can to get there. Hopefully the lineup again in the States is not that bad. So I really don't want to be sitting in line forever, I think. Oh, it's not horrible at all. It's actually quite reasonable. That is quite reasonable. And there we go. Border crossing is done. We're in Buffalo, New York. Should have flipped the bike over to miles when I stopped there, but I forgot to, so I'm going to have to do that afterwards. Gonna run 190 down for a little bit, just to get through the edge of Buffalo, and then we're back onto the back roads. 6.5 hours to go. Starting to get a little warm. Got a little warm border crossing for sure. Not intolerable yet. Bike's saying 25 and a half, so it's probably about 27, 28 out. Not supposed to really get into the 30s, thankfully. As long as you have the sections of shade, it really helps, because the sun is just what makes it. so unbearably hot, obviously. But we're on 219, heading south. On our way, I think we're on this for the majority of the day, to be honest. Because we're on 219 all the way down through New York and into Pennsylvania, because Bradford? I think it's Bradford? Bradford, Pennsylvania, where we stopped on day one from our 2023 summer trip, is on 219. So we'll go right by there again, which will be interesting because we'll pass the Zippo manufacturing plant. Cool to stop it there one day, just no time today. And then from there we keep on 219 all the way down through Pennsylvania, I think. And it's not until we get down towards the bottom of it that we actually have to deviate off 219. So we're on 219 for the majority of the day, from this point out at least. And we have multiple reports of speed traps up here, so let's just back this down just a hair. Oh, he's not sitting there. So he must have tagged somebody and went to go pick him up. Alright, so let's sit back and make some time. Quick stop there for some gas. Now we will proceed through Ellicottville and stop off somewhere up here and just pull off, have some coffee, check timing. This is the great Ellicottville. Interesting little town. Bob's favorite Dollar General. It's always the first stop when we cross over. It's that Dollar General. Except this time. This time we just need to put down mileage, so we're not going to bother stopping. Alright, so quick stop in Bradford, Pennsylvania. Making good time. We're about 5 hours and 15 minutes, I think, left to go. So hopefully we can make up a little bit more time down the road. But yeah, Main Street down here is kind of neat. Old-fashioned. Yeah, it's not that old, but you can see there's some history in the place. Just left Bradford, Pennsylvania. Stopped in the historic downtown area for a quick little break. Checked the map. Looked to be about 5.5 hours to go in time, but we're probably almost 50% in distance, which tells me a lot of this is going to be 40-mile-an-hour stretches, which is okay. You know, we can make up a little bit of time on those pretty easy. Left there at about 1:40, about 5.5 hours in, so technically we should be in 7:30-ish with fuel stops along the way. I'm trying to limit brakes as much as I can just to ensure we make good time. Just gonna try and connect up with Mario Orsini from the Two Wheel Rider channel for a alcoholic beverage tonight, but that's really dependent on what time I manage to get to Winchester. So by the time I get a little bit further south, like maybe Dubois, I'll stop and send him a message and see what he's up to and see if he wants to meet up. Here we go, we're in Allegheny. Losing my buddy. Going that way. Oh, instead I'm picking up this guy. So nice to get past this traffic. Oh, I've been stuck behind these guys probably for the last half hour, because this white van in the front just will not go a different direction. Like, by the time I get past them, I'm going to stop for a break and I'm going to have to go deal with this again. I should just stop, find somebody to pull off, so let these guys get ahead. Passing through a little town called Ridgeway, Pennsylvania. Everybody's still going the same route I am. But now I'm stuck at the lightweight. So a little excursion down 948, but it does connect us back up on 219 again, so we will continue our route down 219 southbound. I'm going to stop though and have a look at the map and see where we're at. Other things along with that. Pulling right over here, I guess. Stop probably about another half hour, I think. Figure out what we have left for distance on the day, for time at least on the day. But we're making a reasonable time. Make a better time, but people quit pulling out in front of me. You go on these trips, and you're gone for, you know, a good chunk of time. This is just a short one, but, you know, Colorado was 3 weeks. You notice how much you miss your family, you know, the wife, the kid, the dog, the comforts of home, living out of your cases all the time. But trips are good though. It's a good way to reset and forget about work. And go see some fuel. We went down the other way before. Man, the cops are everywhere today. Apparently, this is the historic district of Coalport, Pennsylvania. Another little small town. They're all over the place out here. We've deviated off of 219 a little bit now, and I think we're on the left-right tour portion of this because there's no good straight route, so it's, you know, back roads, left and right tour. Eventually work your way down to where you're going to. Not exactly quite sure on the map where we're at, but we're gonna have to stop and have a look soon. I'm not 100% sure. I think we're 3 hours out still. It's about 20 after 4, which puts us about 7:30 in. The next waypoint is 2 hours, 17 minutes, but I don't think that's the final one. I can't remember. So we'll find a spot up here somewhere just off on the side in the shade. We'd stop for a couple of minutes. Down towards the end of our time on Pennsylvania 53 South, we're in Gallatin. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but we got a little bit of expressway, I think, for a bit, and then, unfortunately, for the sake of time, I think we on the interstate for an hour. Currently on 22 eastbound, rolling into Altoona. This originally was stopped for the night. Problem with that, though, is it made tomorrow about an extra hour and a half longer than I was hoping for it to be. So I end up moving and pushing today farther, which is why we're pushing into Winchester instead of stopping here. So I-70 wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's technically a really slow interstate. It's a 55-mile-an-hour limit, which is kind of funny. There's back roads that are faster speed limits than this. But Google was showing a couple of different speed traps on this section, so we're just going to bide our time. Not in that much of a rush. We're good. We're an hour and 12 minutes from Winchester, which means we will make it there for 7:30. Which is perfect. We've officially made it into Maryland now. Got the notice from Google saying welcome to Maryland. It's nice to be back. I don't remember the place we stayed in Maryland, but it was actually, the hotel was nice. The hotel was nice in Maryland. A little sketchy of an area, but the hotel was certainly nice. So I think we actually cross section of West Virginia too at some point here. It's just a series of clipping corners of states. pretty certain though today, the province of Ontario, New York State, Pennsylvania, which I've just completely crossed north to south, corner of Maryland, corner of West Virginia, I believe, and then into Virginia. There it is, there's West Virginia. So we literally just took a little corner of Maryland, and now we're in a little corner of West Virginia. There's a sign. Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. One of the side corners we're cutting on the way through. Should be about 7:30 when we get there. So 10.5 hours total today. Travel. Isn't bad, 10.5 hours, considering Google pegged the distance without stops at 9.5. There we go. There's Virginia. Just crossed into Virginia. There we go. There's the welcome to Virginia notice. So that is the 4th state for the day and a province. So 5 covered in one day. That's not bad. I almost think that's a personal record, to be honest. I can't think of any other day I've covered off 5 states and provinces in one day. Like I said, given it is a little bit of cheating though. Maryland and West Virginia. But hey, still count. Ideally, I'd like to get within the city boundaries as soon as possible. But the time of night now, or the evening, where you run the risk of wildlife being out and about. Rather not be on the back highways when that's a thing. So my thoughts about wildlife coming out this time, absolutely bang on. I've already seen 2 or 3 different groups of deer on the side of the road, so I'm doing everything I can to keep scanning at least the right side for sure, to make sure if there's anything, I try to get eyes on it as quick as possible. Left side I'm not so worried about. I'll see them a lot easier than on the right. But we're only 20 minutes out, so shouldn't be horrible for time. Should be there about 7:36 from the looks of it, so that'll work out nice. There we go. Welcome to Winchester, Virginia. Take a bit of a scenic route through Old Town, see what's going on the way through the hotel. It's not too busy down there. Still early though. I never heard back from Mario, so I'm assuming he's not in town, which, nah, it's alright. Means I can get to the hotel, get unpacked, get organized, get things charged, get things copied, find some dinner, find some gas, do all the things. Let's not go through the university because that's probably going to be pretty busy in there right now. Instead, we'll go this way.